Hey, welcome back. This week, or today, I want to share with you public speaking tip number. Actually, we're going to combine two. I want to share with you public speaking tips number 21 and 22. 21 and 22. This is where I like to say, keep it short and simple and throw out the jargon. Keep it short and simple, throw out the jargon. That's public speaking tip numbers 21 and 22. Listen, here's what I want you to know. Short and simple. If you don't have to talk for somebody, you know, in one of your presentations, someone may give you the opportunity to speak for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes. Let me tell you something. Just because you've been given 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes doesn't mean that you should necessarily take 20, 40, 30, 50, 60 minutes. It's always nice to be short and concise. They may have given you 7 or 10 minutes. Listen, it's always better to end early. Cut it short. Don't go for 2 minutes. If they gave you 10, don't go for 2 unless you're going to ask questions. But if you're going to ask questions, you got to word your presentation in a way that it evokes questions. Have you ever been in a presentation and the presentation's over and the speaker asks, "Are there any questions?" Yeah. Listen, either you want questions or you don't. If you don't want questions, answer all the questions in your presentation. Make it so good that the audience won't ask you any questions. Okay? But if you want questions, and I encourage every speaker that I work with, especially in the beginning, one-on-one, we're working, one of the first things I'm going to tell you is we want questions. You want to ask questions because if you're working with me, it's because you're going to be a subject matter expert. You're going to be the person. You're going to be the guru of your subject. And guess what? You can study in the library. You can take all kinds of classes. But you know what the best lesson comes from? The best lesson comes from asking the questions of real people. Asking them, "Hey, what's your question?" You know, putting the information out. Put your information out in a way that it's not very clear or somewhat unclear, or put the information out in a way that it opens the door to questions so that your audience asks the questions. Because when they ask the questions, that gives you an opportunity to think. Now, in the beginning, you're not going to have all of the answers. You're not. In the beginning, you won't have all of the answers. And if you do have the answers, you may not be able to say them and articulate them in a way that your audience will clearly understand. So in the beginning, ask the questions. Ask the questions. Don't be afraid. A lot of speakers, they get up and they speak, and as soon as they're done, they try to wrap up their books and their bags and pack it up, and they try to go home as fast as possible. Don't do it. Ask the questions. If you can't get the answer, if you don't have the right answer, don't make it up. If you don't have the right answer, get their contact information. Listen, I'm not exactly sure how to, you know what? I would love to get back with you with that. I'd love to get back with you and provide you a written response. How about you put your number right here on my list? Put your number on my list, put phone number and email. And what I'll do is I'll write down that question, and I'd love to get back with you on that. And I'll get back with you in the next 24 to 48 hours. Is that good? Awesome. Establish a connection. Answer the questions. Look up the answers. Give them the real stuff. Don't just go off the cuff and make it up. Okay? Be as short as possible. Keep it as short and simple as possible in your presentation. If you do that, then you're going to get a lot of questions. And if you get a lot of questions, that's going to give you an opportunity to answer a lot of questions. Yeah, you want to seem like the guru. Listen, from day one, you may not be the guru. At the end of year one, yeah, you may be the guru. At the end of year 2, 3, 4, or 5, you're going to be the guru. Yeah, you'll be the guru. And you're going to have the good information because you asked the questions early in your career, in your speaking process. Answer those questions. All right? And here's the last thing I want you to do. Okay? Because I don't think I really have to tell you short, simple, to the point. Throw out the jargon. That's the last thing I want you to do. Throw out the jargon. Now you may be wondering, what is jargon? Okay, so this is tough, okay, because now I may have to reflect a little bit on my military days. But when I was in the military, we had a whole lot of military words that we would use. And in the past, I've told you, I've thrown those words out. I can barely remember those words. One of the words we'd say is, "Hey, go out to the MRAP and get the cargo boxes out." Now, if I told you to go out to the MRAP and get the cargo boxes out, if you've been in the military in the last 10 years or 15 or however long it's been now that they've been using MRAPs, then you're going to know that an MRAP is a very large mine-resistant armor protected vehicle, I think. Something of that effect, okay? You know it's a very big military vehicle. But if you've never been in the military, then you may not know what an MRAP is. If I told you to go out and get your rucksack and meet me on the grinder, you'd have a problem with that. Those are regular words, but listen, that's really military jargon. If I told you to go get your rucksack, that's really military jargon, which means go get your backpack, the one that you normally carry on long trips with you. Get your backpack with all of your gear and your clothes. Yeah, I said gear. With all of your clothes, your running shoes, your extra boots and socks. Get that rucksack and meet me on the grinder. A grinder is a big parking lot, basically. It's a parking lot covered in asphalt. And from there, we're going to do an inspection of some sort. You see, that's a lot of jargon. Acronyms and abbreviations are also, those are forms of jargon. Those are accurate. Those, they're good for your professional circles. They're good for people who know. Okay? They're good for people who know. If I come with all these different types of words that make me look smart inside of my professional circle, and I now go out into the regular world, to talk with your regular listeners, if they're confused and don't know what you're talking about, you've got a problem. Not them, you've got a problem. So make sure you select the right words. Throw out the jargon, throw out the acronyms. Keep it short and simple. The better, the shorter and simpler, the better, as long as you get the basic point across. My basic point is you can do this. In fact, you can do anything that you put your mind to. You can do and achieve anything that you put your mind to, and anyone who tells you otherwise, they're lying. They're either lying or grossly misinformed. That's why I'm here. You see, I want to help you. We're going to help 1 million people to share their stories. You want to help me? I'm going to help you. Listen, share the video. They got this new thing on Facebook now where you can share it. Facebook, of course, you already know that you can share it on Facebook. Now they're letting you share it on YouTube. Wow. 1 million people. Help us do that. Public speaking tip numbers 21 and 22. Keep it short and simple. And throw out the jargon. I'll see you on the next video, friends.